and B with Good Sex. And this is my Open Bedroom Door show, so I wanted to interview you all about like what you're doing here. I mean, tell them about you. I'm also fangirling.
Thank you. I'm so honored.
Tell the audience how awesome you are.
Well, thank you. So I am a sex coach and relationship coach. I'm a former researcher, so I was a public health researcher. I have my master's in public health, and I actually left my doctorate in public health to become a coach. So I've been coaching for the last 10 years, and I've developed a big YouTube audience. I've got almost 900,000 subscribers on YouTube.
One of your subscribers.
Thank you. And I have a show on HBO Max called Good Sex, and my focus really in my private coaching now is men that have premature ejaculation, erectile dysfunction, delayed ejaculation, or just want to have a better relationship with their own bodies, their sexuality, and with their partners.
So I actually first found out about you on Good Sex, and I'm curious, like what led you to the show?
So the producers actually found me on YouTube and did a casting with me, and I had done several of those in the past, but I was very fortunate in that time that they chose me. I flew to Los Angeles and filmed the pilot. And the pilot went so well. I was so confident that the show would be bought that I pack up and I moved from Chicago and moved to LA, which was very kind of cocky of me because I didn't know until later that only about 1% of pilots ever get bought.
Oh, wow.
So
you were in it.
I was like, this is going to happen. But I also was very confident in the production team, and I also wanted to live in California. So it was a good reason for me to move.
Mm-hmm.
And then we developed the show. We were given a lot of spaciousness, a lot of freedom to kind of make the show exactly what we wanted it to be, both the stories that we wanted to tell, the folks that we wanted to work with, the education that we wanted to include. And as you know from watching Good Sex, it is very educational. So even though it follows me sex coaching these 5 couples, and we get to actually see them in their bedrooms, I actually use bedroom footage to add to my sessions and help them to understand more what's actually going on. It also contains a lot of educational aspects. And I like to say it's really good for couples to watch together in particular, because you'll see yourself in every single couple in the show, and you can pause it and discuss. And, I'm really a fan of information that is both entertaining and educational. I think that that's how we get quality sexual health and pleasure positive information into the hands of as many people as possible.
I totally agree with you. And actually, I was thinking of, one of your episodes, I've watched her whole show, and you should absolutely watch the show. It's amazing. But in one of the episodes, there's this couple having sex, and there's this dog basically running. It was the dog show while they're trying to have sex. And of course, the guy's having performance anxiety. And just this week, I was doing a Zoom meeting with some clients, and there were dogs barking in the background, and I was thinking of you, oh my gosh, this is the example of what's getting in their way. So what was it like, first of all, watching the footage of people having sex?
It was really cool because they say a picture is worth 1,000 words. Well, if that's true, then a video is worth 1,000,000.
Yeah. Because how could you have seen that? You wouldn't have known.
You can't, and it's very difficult. I was actually involved during my master's in a study where we asked people to describe what happened step by step in a sexual encounter. And it's very, very difficult. We all have a different way of speaking. We all have different definitions. What's fast to someone may be slow to another. What's rough to someone may be gentle to another. So when you have all of this on video, it's a lot easier to point and say, this is what's happening, and this is how I define it. How do you define it? How do we describe this? We can create shared language and shared meaning, and then we can talk about where we want to go from there. So incredibly powerful.
So for those of you who are sex therapists listening in, or sex educators, counselors, that is one of the things that I think is the big limiter in our work, is that we can talk through it, but it's not the same as seeing it, seeing it in action. So I'm gonna bring up another clip from your show. Yeah. There was something you did. It was a game where you showed levels of touch. There could be a 1, here's a hit at this time.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So my daughter, in our family, we kind of slap each other in the butt, as a little love pat. But my daughter did it super hard. She would go whack, and I was like, "Ow, Olivia, what are you doing?" Because of your show, I used it with my daughter to be like, "Look, Olivia, this is a 1, this is a 2. And so I said, I need you to, if you're going to give me a love pat, give me a 3. And so we practiced based on your show. I taught my daughter consent and stuff. That's because of you.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Oh, I'm so happy for that.
It was so powerful. So after you've done the show, like how have people been using it? Like, what are the stories you're hearing from people about how they're using it and like how it's touching their lives?
Yeah, I mean, I get messages all the time in the comments and in Instagram DMs and emails of just like people saying that because of the show, they figured out something that had been like troublesome for them, or they were able to understand each other or communicate differently. I've had a couple say that the show completely saved their relationship. They, you know, were raising children. Their children were like almost out of the house. They were living with like a sexless relationship in a dead bedroom, and they had no idea how to revive it. And then they watched the show. In fact, they watched it 2 or 3 times. One time they watched it in their hot tub, which I thought was amazing. Like, I loved that. And they watched it through, and they used the ideas and the prompts and the things that were in the show to sort of like get themselves on the track of revitalizing their sex life. And because of the show, they actually ended up discovering things like the erotic blueprints and some other modalities that they also included in their lives. And it just kind of set them on a completely different journey than the one that they had been. And I think, you know, the thing that I want from the show more than anything else is just that people realize that like change is possible. Whatever it is that you're dealing with, you're struggling through, that, you know, isn't working out for you, it doesn't have to stay a secret. It doesn't have to remain private behind closed doors. Like, whether you work with a therapist or an educator or a coach, or you go to retreats, or you go, like, whatever it is, even if you just start communicating, that like it doesn't have to be hard. You know?
Well, you know what you were saying, Caitlyn, earlier about like, we call it like edutainment, right? Where it's educational and it's entertaining. If it's too educational, I think people get bored and they won't watch the show. If it's too entertaining, they don't trust you.
Yes.
Like, you're really creating a trusted brand. And so I love the way that in the show you put together the two. And I do think that's like the catapult to get people to learn more about sex. Like you said, maybe they started with your show and they're like, you know what? I gotta watch more. What else is out there? And there's so much out there for y'all to learn. Like, okay, we're here at AASECT, so I'm going to do my shameless AASECT plug. But like at AASECT, we're the sex educators, counselors, and therapists in the national like country, and we're here to educate you and teach you all about sex and sexual wellness. And we have cool people like Caitlyn coming, educating you. You want to be here at AASECT. I'm sorry. That's my shameless plug, but it's really an amazing
this has been a great experience. This is my first AASECT.
Oh yeah, tell us about your conference experience.
You know, ever since leaving academia, which has been 10 years since I was a you know, professional academic, I wasn't sure that I would be like very welcome in all academic environments. And but I have many friends who are, you know, AASECT certified or AASECT members, and they assured me that kind of the vibe has changed in the last 5 years, and that it's become a lot more open to folks across the industry, and there's a lot more collaboration because we all understand that like we're all kind of in the same, we're all playing for the same team, right? Whether we're a therapist or an educator or a PhD or a social worker, like we are all under the umbrella of sex and sexuality. And so when we support each other and collaborate across our fields, everybody benefits. And so it was a really nice experience to be able to come here and feel like very welcome, and, you know, not feel like because I was a coach or because I left academia that I was any less included in the curriculum. And then of course it's just been lovely to kind of, as a former academic, to be watching, you know, PowerPoint presentations with advanced models and peer-reviewed research and validated scales and all. It's been like really, you know, like a homecoming for me in many ways. And I love the way that thank you. I love the way that coaching allows a space for people like me to really like play and advance and like work inside of this a little bit, like a lot less regulated, unregulated space, right? And surely because of that unregulation, like anybody can call themselves a coach, but there are a lot of really amazing sex coaches out there that know a lot of somatic modalities, and they know a lot of more like energetically based modalities, and we get to be playing with that with our clients, you know. And I only work with clients who don't need to see a therapist, right? Or at least I'm working in tangent with a therapist, right? And then the therapists here are working with folks who like really need and benefit from the approaches that therapy allows for, like the like, you know, the folks who are maybe having a larger struggle, or their struggle is compounded by other mental health challenges. It's been really cool to see the ways that like we can support the same people, and we also support different populations as well.
I love everything you said. So some of you don't know me yet, but I am the social media butterfly for the AASECT conference this 2025. And my job was to go around the conference and interview people like you who are really awesome. And if you haven't followed us yet, we are at the AASECT, so it's the AASECT on Instagram. So you can see all of the fun posts that I put up of people, like wonderful people like you. But like, I want people to know, like, one of the things that we're trying to do at AASECT is we want to amplify AASECT voices. And one of my personal goals is to empower the future leaders in the sexual health field, because many of us are the only ones of us in our space. Like I'm in a lot of business circles and I'm literally the only sex therapist there. And that is a problem. Like, we as a country and as a unit, we need to come together and join in community, because I don't want you to be alone anymore. I want us better together. Sex geeks, unite! So Caitlyn, we're towards the end of the interview, but oh my God, you've been amazing. Is there any final stuff that you want to plug and tell them, like all the things that make you awesome, because we want everybody to be able to find you?
Thank you, thank you. So right now I'm actually working on a Kickstarter for a pleasure device that is a musical pleasure device. And I don't call it a sex toy. You could definitely put it under the category of sex toy, but it is so much more than just a sex toy. Unlike a music responsive vibrator that just kind of buzzes to a beat, this toy actually plays music inside of your body or on the surface of your body.
That's the little definition of a Hummer.
It's so phenomenal. I didn't bring it with me. I should have, because I drove
on a
there.
future show. I totally want to play with it.
Me.
You're welcome. Show it in a future
You
episode.
can check it out at trygroovething.com/Caitlyn.
Okay.
Trygroovething.com/CAITLIN. And we're actually going to be launching it very soon. So if you want to back it as a Kickstarter, it'll be launching towards the end of June. And like, if you go to trygroovething.com/Caitlyn now, you can actually sign up to be one of the first people notified, and there's like early bird pricing and big discounts. So please check out trygroovething.com/Caitlyn.
I'm going to sing a little something.
Caitlyn.
Trygroovething.com.
You could play that in Groovething, and you can feel your body, hear your own sound, your own voice. Yeah.
I don't know if I want to feel myself inside of me.
Trust me, you do. You do.
Okay, you heard it from Caitlyn. I want to hear myself inside myself.
Yeah. You can play back any of your interviews. It feels like turning your body into a speaker. Like, it's hard to describe how amazing it is. It's like this really just very pleasurable journey. Even if you're uncomfortable using toys, it's not quite like a toy. It's like a speaker, right? It's very different. It's hard to describe, but check it out for yourself. And if you love music or sex, you will love this toy. And if you love them both, you have to have it.
I love them both, Caitlyn.
And then I guess, in the future, I have a book coming out, but it's not going to be out until January of 2026. But if you want to be sure to be notified when my book comes out, it's all about men's sexuality. So it is like a step-by-step guide to having the best sex of your life in the modern world as a man. And that's whether you're dealing with any sort of sexual dysfunction, or if you have, if you're very satisfied with the way that your body's working, but you want to understand sex better, you want to understand partner sex better, you want to be able to please your partner more. Like, it covers every single base. It is a capstone almost of like all of the work that I have done and everything I have learned about men and men's sexuality so far. So if you want to be notified about that when that comes out, go to my website, CaitlynVneal.com. And you can sign up for my newsletter. You'll get notified of all of the cool things that are coming out soon.
Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
And I'm Angela Skurtu, and you can find me at openbedroomdoors.com. If you want to see me, please submit a contact form at my website. And also, I'm the AASECT Social Media Butterfly for 2025. Thank you so much for joining me, and thank you for doing this.
Thank you. Thank you for doing this on behalf of AASECT and all of the folks that are here this weekend.
Bye, everyone.